jump right in the middle of this video explaining who is the devil on the earth, who is the devil that is on this earth.
It's not their job to teach us because they brought us here as slaves, second class citizens. They didn't bring us here because they wanted best friends. Like it tell you in Deuteronomy 28:68, we were sold to our enemies. So this Joshua 1 and 8 says, this book of the law, because like I said, this is not a religious book. A lot of people get caught up and use that as a stumbling block, but this is not a book of religion. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth. This book of the law. So there's no difference if the Constitution, if they make a whole book out of the Constitution and put American history in it also. That's what this is. It says, this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou shalt may observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous. So that's how we become prosperous. Not with these prosperity gospel pastors is preaching, no, you got to sow a seed of $100 or $1,000. The Bible says follow his commandments, and that's how you be prosperous. Not giving your money to the filthy, nasty, disgusting church who pastor trying to sleep with your wife or touch on your kid. Not that. It says become prosperous. It says may us observe to do according to all that is written therein, for thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and thou shalt have good success. So that's what we're looking for, good success. Everybody wants that good success. And the Bible's telling you how to get it. So let's go to Acts 3:19. So we gotta understand, we got a God that's gonna fight for us, but we gotta come back to the commandments, and then all that stuff is gonna take place. So it's 3:19. Let's see. This is the. So yeah, and this is the condemnation that light is coming to the world, and man loved darkness rather than light because their deeds were evil. So that's the thing, we got to get out of that mindset of loving darkness rather than light. We got to come back to the wisdom, to knowledge, and try to get that understanding in the commandments, because it says that the light is come into the world, and man loved darkness rather than light. So we got a lot of people that's they know what's good is, but instead of doing good, it's so easy to do bad. So then they kind of, veer off that way, you know. And so we gotta, learn how to be wise and get that knowledge and understanding. And like, we read in Joshua, um, was it? Yeah, Joshua 1 and 8 about the commandments. So let's go to Psalms 14:7 real quick. So like I said, so we gotta, get, understand that, chiefly the most principal thing is to get knowledge and wisdom, and that's what we all should be trying to obtain and get a better understanding of, this world and what we live in, because like it's so comfortable to think that we know something when we don't, and they tell you too, like when you think you know something, you need to consider yourself a fool, because you realize you don't know nothing, because there's always going to be something that you don't know. And, we got to understand that. So it says, oh, that, this is Psalms 14:7, oh, that the salvation of Israel were come out of Zion. Because, like I said, it's all about the Israelites. It says, when the Lord bring back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice and Israel shall be glad. So, like I said, so once again, you got God ready to bring back the captivity of his people, take us out of the lands that we've been scattered through the Arab slave trade and the Atlanta slave trade and various other ways. So he's saying that he's ready to come back. So let's go to Psalms 147. Those one Psalms one. Matter of fact, let's get Psalms 119. So, like I said, we got to come back to the commandments. It says, uh, this is Psalms 119, 1 and 142. Thy righteousness is everlasting. Thy law is the truth. And, so that's how we become righteous. That's how we get that truth through the law. And, once we get the understanding that, that we got to repent and be converted, and that the law is righteousness and that the law is truth, and then it says too in 119 and 72 Psalm says, my tongue shall speak thy words, and all thy commandments are righteousness. So the commandments are righteousness. So when you hear churchgoers talking about, oh, righteousness, and they're not keeping no commandments, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Because the Bible says the commandments of God is righteousness. So chapter 17, let me see, which one I want. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on, bear with me, y'all, 1 second. So yeah, no, Psalms 19 and 7. That's it. So so like I said, so the law of God, it says is that Psalms 19, for the law of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. So that's how you convert, your soul into being righteous. Because the law, we just read in Psalms 119 that the law is righteous. So it says the law is perfect. The law of Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of Yahweh is true. It is assured, making wise the simple. So once you start keeping these commandments, it says it make wise the simple. Like I said, I didn't go to seminary school, to understand this Bible, but once you keep the little of the commandments, he'll start opening up your mind and start giving you the understanding, and like I said, because it ain't about no certificate and getting a permission from a white man to read the Bible. Like I said, I didn't need that, and we don't need that. We can open up this book and read it ourselves. But like it says that we have to be weaned from the milk, and that starts with keeping the commandments and learning how to start with the stuff that we can change. That able to change. But like I tell you too, the commandments is not grievous, right? So let's go to 147. And we know this, right? Because we still going to talk about the devil. We're going to get into the devil. So we got to understand who the devil is. So, but yeah, this is Psalms 147 and 19. It says, he showed his word unto Jacob, the Israelites, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel, the Israelites. So basically saying he gave the understanding to this Bible and the understanding to the Israelites, right? He has not dealt so with any nation. For his judgments they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Yes, that's right. Praise ye the Lord that he's not dealing with nobody else. That's why when we read how much he want to fight for us and how he's ready to fight for us, He's only talking about the children of Israel. You don't see him talking about any other nation. You will not read in this book where God expressed love for any other nation other than the children of Israel. So let's get there's one more real quick before we start getting into this Diablo. So it says, it's Amos 3, and it says, hear the word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel. Now we all the way in Amos, children of Israel, against the whole family which are brought out of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for your iniquities. So God saying only us, out of all the people he created, 7 billion people, only us have he known. Psalms 147 and 19 tells you out of all the people that he created, he only chose us to give us this knowledge and wisdom and understanding of this Bible and this knowledge. So this is very exclusive. It's not inclusive, it's exclusive. And it's only for the children of Israel, which is the Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, who got a God that's ready to fight for us, ready to tear this whole place up. He just waiting for his nation of people to come back and realize who they is and realize the God that they serve. Like it tells you that in Isaiah that a jackass, know his owner and the donkey, know where his crib is, but Israel don't consider. So we don't understand that we are the children of God. So, like I said, so we don't. Let's get into the Diablo, the devil, right? And like I said, and the devil is just like I said, it's a Latin word for deceiver. For Diablo. Devil is the root word for Diablo that derives from the word deceiver. And so it's not like some, how we've been taught to really, think about the devil. So when we call these people the devil, we just call them liars, deceivers, in which that's what they are. So, start at Genesis 25, right? Genesis 25 real quick. Genesis 25, right? So it says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, right? So now when we get into this, right? So let me start out some. And the children, matter of fact, let's start at 21. Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah and his wife conceived, and the children struggled together with her, and said, "If it be so, why on dust?" So now Rebekah has it. She's got twins, which is Jacob and Esau. So now she has these birth pains that she's going through. So she's like, okay, this is of God. Why am I, having all these pains, right? So it says, and the Lord said unto her, uh, two nations are in thy womb, two manner of people shall be separated by thy bowels, right? So it's telling two different type of people, two mannerism of people, two different nations. So now you look at Jacob and Esau, the white man, so-called white man, so-called black man. We got two different mannerisms about ourselves. We don't like the same stuff. We don't like to do the skydiving and the hiking and climbing high mountains. We like to chill, probably barbecue a little bit, drink our beers, listen to music, do relaxing type shit. We don't like to do activities that, make our heart race and all that stuff like they do. We got two different manners of people. So it says, yeah, and they shall be separated by thy bowels, and one shall be stronger than the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. So that's important. So one should be stronger than the other, and the elder should serve the younger, right? So now who's stronger? We is, in everything that we do, physically, mentally, spiritually, we're stronger in all aspects. That's why they have to, create synthetic drugs, right? So it says, uh, And then her days were to be delivered, they were fulfilled. To behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So when Esau first came out, the progenitor of the so-called European or the so-called white man, he came out red like they do when they little babies. They be all red and pink all over, just like they do, you know. So and he came out red like a hairy garment, and they called him Esau because he didn't have no pigment, because everybody else during that time were dark-skinned, melanated people, you know, even though all skin folks and kin folks, but we know through science and history that during that time the world was predominantly dark-skinned people. So this is the first instance of a so-called white man coming into existence on the planet, according to the Bible, and by the name of Esau. And so where I'm at. So then, and the first came out red, and they called his name Esau. After that, his brother came out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. So you notice they didn't describe Jacob's appearance because Jacob looked like everyone else. Esau was the oddball, like he is today. And they called his name Jacob, and Isaac was three score 30, 30 years old when she buried them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. And that's what he is today, because Esau likes to hunt today. The so-called European man today likes to hunt. They go all over the world hunting exotic animals and stuff like that, and making little molds and stuff for the little animals that they hunt. They hunt us, the police force, the police force that they got running through our streets, hunting our steps, throughout the judicial system, they hunt us. They labor system, they hunt us. They hunters. That's just in their nature. That's why they symbol was the eagle. Because the eagle is an apex predator and it's a hunter, and they hunt other animals that's smaller than them. That's what the white man does. So, and it says Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Like I said, we like to chill. We like to do relaxing type activities. We don't like to, go, stand in front of a bull and see if the bull gonna chase us, or, get on top of sit on a bull while the bull jumping up and kicking and shit like that, or skydiving, or any other crazy shit that white people do. We don't do that shit. We like to chill. That's why it says Jacob was a plain man. That's what we is. We just chill. We listen to our music, drink our little beer or whatever, our liquor, and we chill. We have our little parties and shit, but for the most part, we chilling. So so then where we at? So then and Isaac loved Esau because he did eat his own vintage, but Rebecca loved Jacob. So keep that in mind. So Jacob loved Esau because Esau, he would go out and hunt for his food and stuff like that. So he kind of looked at him like a little different. Like, okay, well, at least, he out there, ready to get his own, meal, whatever, right? And Rebecca, loved Jacob, right? And then it says, so now, that's a little brief history. So now we're gonna jump right to we're gonna jump to we're gonna jump to 27, right? We're gonna jump to 27 and 37. It says, Isaac answered unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and his brethren have I given upon thee for servants, right? So hold on. All right. So hold on. Let me give you a little context, because so it says so now because Jacob had blessed uh, Isaac had blessed Jacob. So now he's telling Esau all the stuff that he had blessed us with to have. And it says, so that's the context. So it says, Isaac had answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him Lord, and his brethren have I given him for servants. With the corn and wine I have sustained him, and what should I do unto thee? So Isaac is telling Esau, like, look, I gave your brother all the blessings, that I have to give. There's nothing more that I can give for it. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing? My father bless me, even me also, O father. Esau lifted up his voice and wept, right? So, Esau a little crybaby. White people always crying, and nowadays, when they cry, the whole world stops. But Esau's crying, right? Like they usually do. So just jump down to 40, right? Now we're gonna go to 39. So Isaac, his father answered and said to him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and in the dew of heaven, and by the sword thou shalt live. So now you think about that. So it says, Esau, you're gonna have the best parts of the earth. Even though like you're gonna have the best parts of the earth, you're gonna live off the fat of the land. But you're gonna live by the sword. And don't they live by the sword today? Don't they got a military base in every damn nation all around the world, damn near? And don't they rule with an iron fist? Like if you don't get down or lay down, you're gonna get down or lay down. Basically, how America's been rolling ever since they came into power. Ever since Alexander the Great, the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, so forth and so forth. Whenever they came into power to do what they wanted to do, they ruled with the sword. They didn't come peaceful and and be all political with the stuff. When it came to America, they slaughtered 80 million Native Americans. They killed the Native Americans in Canada. They killed our Hispanic brothers down in South America, in Puerto Rico. They went to Australia and killed there. They went to Europe and killed there. Everywhere they go, they kill. They live by the sword. And that's the nature of the white man. He's a violent person. The most violent thing ever created. And we forget how violent he is because he come off, timid and, soft spoken. And, he look a little nerdy. He don't got no rhythm. So we forget that this man is the most violent creation ever. So jump down to 40 and says, And by the sword thou shalt live, and 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 serve thy brother, and shall come to pass when thou have dominion, thou shalt break the yoke off of thy neck. So that's what he did when the Roman Empire came, when Alexander the Great and all of them came in. They broke their dominion. They broke the yoke that we had on them. Now they able to rule. But like I tell you in Ezra, that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of the world that follows. So the Bible tells you that Esau, the white people, is going to be ruling in the last days, but they're going to be the last kingdom to rule on this earth before we take over and establish our righteousness in our kingdom through the Mashiach Yahushua. So, where we at? So yeah, so then, and it says Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing. So like I said, white people don't hate us because of our skin color. And the other nations too. The other nations don't hate us because of our skin color. They hate us because of the blessings, because we are God's chosen people, that God chose us out of everybody else. That's why we're hated amongst all nations. So it says, and Esau hated Jacob because the blessings where his father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand when I will slay my brother Jacob. So white people said, that's why they're so violent to us, because they forefather, you know, made a promise to himself that, that he gonna make it his mission to kill us. and that energy and that stuff been passed down from decade to decade, century to century, millennia to millennia, into 2022 right now, to where we can't get along. That, like it said, when we was in the womb, we wrestled with each other in the womb. It's like oil and vinegar. Even if you do put us together, it's a only a certain amount of time something's gonna happen where we're gonna have some type of disagreement because they being the devil that they were made to be. So let's get into understanding the path of the devil, the future of the devil. And when we say devil, like I said, the word devil just means deceiver, liar. You know, that's what it means, and that's what the Bible mean by it when it calls these people the devil. So that's all it means in Latin, a deceiver, diablo, deceiver, right? So now this is Obadiah. This is one of the shortest books in the Bible, one of my favorite books, should I say. And it talk about the destruction of these people that we call white people, or who I like to call the devil that the Bible speaks of. And we're going to get into that. So it's Obadiah. So the vision of Obadiah does said the Lord concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle, right? So that's what right now. That's what we see in a global, in the GOP. All these different nations coming together, picking sides because of this World War III thing, and they deciding on who they're gonna pick. But a lot of these countries that America is siding with, a lot of these countries are gonna turn against them. So this Jeremiah. Go to Jeremiah 49:10 real quick. It's a little quick precept. So Jeremiah 49:10. But I have made Esau bare, and I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not right. So like I said, so he's saying that. Read it again. Says, but I had made Esau bare, meaning, and when we get into that scientifically, we know that Esau has a low birth rate. We know that they're dying off more than they're producing. This is biblically. God said he made them bare. And that's the reason why we see these low birth rates with these people. No matter if it's over in Europe or over here in Canada, they got a low birth rate. So that I made them bare. I had uncovered their secret places, meaning like all the bullshit that they've been kicking up since they've been in power. Now people are starting to remember and understand that these people are the devil that the Bible speaks of, that these people are the wicked, that these people got the whole world in a mess of trouble from their policies and their antics that they done, and their deals that they made throughout the years. So it says, and he should not be able to hide himself, and his seed is spoiled. Meaning, and now we get to the point where they can't even deny their crimes that they did, and their children that came after them are just following right along with it because they reaping from the benefits. That's why it says his children are spoiled too, because they going along with it, and like it's all good. What they call it, white privilege or something like
Sit
that,
down.
right? So, and that's what we see here. It says his seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Meaning he don't got nobody. Everybody's going to turn against him. That's what we're going to see with the UN, because France and America, they've been cool for a minute, but what happened? Now France is turning on them. All these other little UN countries, some of them still siding with Russia because they you know like I said. So we're gonna see all that, right? And there's more of that's gonna happen. It says, uh, I heard a rumor. Go back to Obadiah, right? I heard a rumor. Uh, I heard a rumor, uh, arise ye, let us, well, I'm reading right. I heard a rumor from the Lord, an ambassador has sent among the heathens, arise ye, and let us do battle against it. So that's what a lot of these countries is starting to say about America. Like, just rise up and just do battle against it. Because God is putting the spirit on these other countries to have that spirit of warfare to come against America. Because they're remembering all the bullshit that America been doing. You know, all the little deals they done broke and all that stuff. They're remembering all that stuff, and they got guns. They got nukes. They got an army now. Now they can fight for themselves. You know, so now they're ready to stand up against that book. So it says, "Arise, ye, and let us do battle against her. Let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen." So meaning, he makes these white people small among the heathen, meaning white, let the truth be told, nobody likes them. You go over there, like, you know, over here, we've been calling them the devil since 1969, and you go further than that, you know, 100 years before that, 200 years before that, the slave people on the plantation would tell you that the white man is the devil. Then you got the Arabs over there will tell you that the white man is the devil. Everybody know, every Chinese people know that the white man is the devil. Everybody know that the white man is the devil, except for the black and Hispanic man. We're the only ones that still want to make friends with these beasts, and we don't understand that these people have been detrimental to our health since us being connected with for the last few hundred years. And it says, "Behold, I made thee small among the heathens; thou art greatly despised." And that's what they are. They greatly despised. Nobody really like dealing with these people. They deal with them because they empower, but for the most part, they don't like dealing with these people, right? And it says, "The pride in thy heart has deceived thee," right? So, and who's more prideful than the white man? Like I said, I say this all the time. These people are so proud. They got that song, "I'm proud to be American. At least I know I'm free." Who the hell are they talking about? They're not talking about us. We ain't free. So these people are proud. Like, even, they this ain't nobody more proud than these people. It says, "Thy pride has deceived, thy pride in thy heart has deceived thee. Thou dwell in cliffs and rocks." So we know their history. We know that they come from the Caucasus Mountains, Mount Seir. They dwell in cliffs and rocks, like it's stated here. We know that they come out of the cave. We know that they come out of the cracks and holes of the mountains. And the Bible is telling you that this is where they like to live at. They like to dwell at. That's why they build all these skyscrapers and these high buildings, because it remind them of the mountains, because their ancestors, and it's in their DNA to be in these high habitats like that. That's why they do it. It says, let's get Job 30 real quick, and 33. So yeah, that's why they do all these things. Here we go. And Job 30 and 3, it says, boom, boom. So now I'm gonna start at 1. It says, so now this is Job talking about these people. Because Job had to deal with these people too. He says, "But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with my dogs." So Job is saying that he don't even want these people to sit with his dogs. That's how disgusting these people are, and they was, and they is, and they will be. Job said, "I don't even where I keep my dogs at. I don't even want these white people to be where I keep my dogs at, because we know what they like to do with dogs. We know, we ain't gotta say it, but we know what they like to do with dogs." It says, um, ye, let me jump down to 6. To dwell in cliffs of the valleys and the caves of the earth and the rocks. So like we read in Obadiah, it's telling you that they live, they like to live in caves. And we know them to be cavemen. That's the original cavemen. They are the cavemen. And the Bible is describing them as cavemen. It says, they dwell in cliffs of the valleys and the cliffs of the earth and the rocks, among the bushels they brave. And you know what that word brave mean? Brave mean like, have you heard the white people go, yeehaw? Or they always be making, white people, when they get drunk, they be making all these animal type noises. That's braving. You know, that's their caveman instinct. They used to just make these little, all these little animal noises, and they still do. That's how we know that Esau is the white man today, because he still had these same characteristics. You know, he still, make out woo, all those little crazy ass drunk white people noises that they make. But it's telling you here that um among the bushes they brave, under the nettles they gather together, meaning they get together and they be making these little animalistic noises in the woods. We seen videos of them doing this stuff. You know what I'm talking about. And it says they were children of fools. That's what the white man, woman, and child is. Children of fools. They're goddamn fool. Back in school, we used to think they were so damn smart, but we didn't realize that the system was rigged, towards their benefit. But as we got older, we realized these niggas is dumb as rocks. Every last one of them. It says they were children of fools. Yeah, children of base men. They were the valor of the earth, right? So that's who we dealing with when we talking about these people. Base men. That's what God called them. Base men, meaning the lowest of the low. Caveman, cave dwellers, dog kissers, whatever you want to call them. They're the devil. All right. So according to the Bible, they are the devil. We can prove that, and we are. And thou exalt thyself as the eagle, though thou set thy nest amongst the stars. Hence I will bring down, said the Lord. So it's telling you that he set his nest among the stars, and it says, and that's what he do. It says, because just like an eagle, the white man want to sit high. That's why he got all these cameras everywhere, surveilling everybody. Got a space station where he can watch everything. He try to create all this different technology so he can put himself up as God. Because he got that pride in himself. And let's get Psalms 58 real quick. Psalm 58, and I think I want 3. So, like I said, he's an evil, wicked man, and the Bible says so. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray soon as they're born, speaking lies. And that's what they do. They come forth speaking lies. And that's what they do. That's why we call them the devil, because they are liars. They lie about everything. They gave you Charleston Heston as Moses when the Bible describes Moses as a dark-skinned man. They gave you Jesus as Jim Caviezel, whatever that devil name is, as Jesus, when the Bible describes Jesus as a dark-skinned man. They're liars by their nature. They can't help it. So Psalms 53 says, every one of them is gone back. They are altogether come filthy. There is none that do good. No, not one of them. Not one. So all of them is bad. There's no such thing as a good one. All of them bad, right? So let's get to so it says, if thou come as a thief, if a robber by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen until they had enough? Hell no, the white man don't stop stealing until he had enough. He would take everything until it's nothing left to take. Until we take up the floorboards, he would take everything. And it's telling you right here, it's giving you the characteristics of these people. It's telling you that they would not steal even if they had enough. They would keep taking. They robbed our Hispanic brothers down in South America blind made them poor. They took our Jamaican brothers England got them still paying taxes to this day. That's why Jamaica is so poor. They keep robbing. Haiti is so poor because they still got to get money to the French. They will not stop stealing. No, they will not. It's not in their nature to stop stealing. They take everything. It says, would they not have stolen until they had enough? If a grape gatherer come to thee, would they not leave some for the grapes? Meaning, if you grabbing grapes off the vine and the grapes is falling to the ground, you know, it's our culture to leave those grapes on the ground for the poor. But the Bible is telling you that not only will the white man take the grapes off the vine, the grapes that's falling on the ground, he's going to pick those up and make sure there's nothing down there neither. He's going to strip the tree bare and take all the shit that's falling from the tree. So that's why it says he would not stop stealing even if he got enough. He would keep taking. And that's his nature. And how are the things of Esau searched out? So how are we figuring the white man out? Like how, because we see his activities, we see what he's been doing, we've seen his history. You know, we can watch and see how he moves. We see that he's the devil on earth. We don't need no spiritual demon Satan. We got the devil right here. Because we see how he's been operating. He's been a devil everywhere he goes. Not just to us as Israelites, but to the whole planet. So so it says, all the men that died Confederacy have brought thee even to the border, right? So like we were saying earlier, he got his little allies and shit like that, but he be double crossing they allies. Double cross their own allies a lot of times. So it's saying that these countries that's confederate with you, they coming to your border, meaning they coming to meet you. So it's not gonna just be Russia and China that blow this place up. It's gonna be some what we would think, well, America would think some good friends also that's gonna blow this place up too, along with Russia and China. And hopefully we ain't here when it happens. So so it says all the men of that confederacy had brought thee unto the border, the men that were at peace with thee, meaning because the white man, he come in acting like he want peace, like he came to America with the Native Americans. Oh, I'm hungry. We're lost on the boat. Oh, I don't know where I'm at. Can you feed me? And they killed all the damn Native Americans and called it Thanksgiving. So he comes like he's at peace with them. And these people, his allies, the other countries that deal with these people, they starting to see who they is. You know, they starting to recognize it, and we can see that in the news on how they're reacting on certain things. And um, it says, um, all the men that is Confederate have brought thee into thy border, even the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Meaning, all these deals you think you done made with these different countries, like, all right, I'm gonna be straight. I got to deal with Arabia. You know, they gonna hold me down. You know, we're gonna be cool. I got to deal with, India, because India, they gonna help us with China. Bullshit. Have you ever heard of something called the BRIC? That's Brazil, Russia, India, and China. That's what's gonna blow this bitch up. But that's a whole nother story. We're gonna get into that some other time. But like I said, so America making these deals with these people, thinking that these people are gonna hold them down. But the Bible says that these people that you done became confederate with, meaning come together with, they at your border now. They at your head. You know, they coming at you now. And we're gonna see that in the coming days. As time in this beginning stages of World War III progress. So it says, and it says, they had deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread had laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in them. Meaning they ain't ready. There's no understanding in them. When America put sanctions on Russia, they ain't give a nut. Like, we're gonna keep doing what we want to do. When America trying to get their other allies to come in on board to give sanctions towards Russia and other countries, it's like, no, we ain't with that. Because we like Russia. We like what Russia doing. It's cool with us. So a lot of the people that's in the UN, you know, in the EU, they not down with America, way of how they have been handling this whole thing. Because you think gases and all that shit was fucked up here and prices fucked up here. It's not just fucked up here, it's fucked up where every other country is fucking with America at. So, since they want to be down with America, they shit up out, fucked up out the roof too. So how much longer do you think they gonna take that? Because if we was pissed off about $5 and $6 gas prices, them other countries too. Some of them countries, third world countries. You get what I'm saying? So we gotta think about that. So it says, there's no understanding. There's no understanding in them. And should I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom? So Edom is like I said, the so-called European, the so-called white man. So he said he's going to destroy the wise man out of Edom, even the politicians, the scientists, the people that know a little something. He said he's even going to take them out. Because like I said, they all white people got that mind, that high mindset. They all think the same. On different levels, but it's still the same. So it says it's going to take out even the wise man out. It says, um, I should destroy even the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of Mount Esau. Meaning he's going to take his understanding, his wisdom, his knowledge, his common sense. So we're going to see a lot more wild ass white people running around shooting and gunning down people like we've been seeing. I said this about a week or so ago, and we had about like a few more mass shootings in between that when I said that when I read the scripture about uh, God taking the understanding away from these people, and we're going to start to see that. We're going to see more of these wild, animalistic people going grabbing their little ARs and going and shooting up stuff because it's in their. We look at them like they crazy. When you think about it, that's their nature. They live by the sword. This is how they function. They cannot function unless something got to die. And because they're what's the word I look for? Emotionally unstable. They're unable to cope with basic things. They're troglodytes, whatever, for the lack of a better term. They're just very reactional people. And so that's so they gotta go. Like I said, they're just very violent, and we gotta understand that. And and it says, for the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. So, like I said, they're very violent. And since they commit their violence against us, they're going to have that shame. That's why, like I said before, too, that's why, you got white people that, they'll lock their doors when they see you coming or across the street when they see you coming. Or you got the ones that's, what they call white guilt. They're so sorry for their ancestors and stuff like that. So now they want to go and have black children, whatever the case may be. So, like I said, so they will be covered in this shame and this guilt, and like I said, you can see how their shame is because we know what they did, and they know what they did. They know why we over here. We didn't come over here because we wanted to. They stole us, so they have shame. That's why when they might cross the street when they see us walking their way, they might lock their doors because they're thinking that it's gonna be some type of get back, But we've been over here this long, and ain't no get back that collectively that we trying to do. But the Most High did say He's gonna get them back, and we're reading about it right now. So let's go to Lamentation 4:1, right? Lamentation 4:1. So like I said, we gotta understand who we're dealing with because we get mixed up because we think they like I said, they soft spoken, they seem a little nerdish. So we don't pay them no attention, but we forget that these people are natural born psychopath killers. That's what they do. Look at their Hollywood movies. Look at their movies that they produce. It's all violent. I mean, I know they're entertaining. We like them and all that cool shit. But just think about it. They're violent because they're violent. Lamentation, what's that? 4 and 21. It says, rejoice. It says, Lamentation 4 and 21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. So it's talking about the so-called white man, right? So-called European. Daughter of Edom that dwelleth in the land of Uz, and the cup also shall pass unto thee, and thou shalt be drunken, and thou shalt be made naked. Meaning, like we read about, and about Adam and Eve being made naked. So naked just mean exposed. All their wickedness and their crimes that they did out to the annals of time is going to be brought forth, and people are starting to recognize that, and they're going to speak on it. And not just us, but other countries are going to start looking at America as hypocrites for all the stuff that they try to go out in the world and say, but how they treat their citizens here. So people are going to see that. And let's go back to Obadiah. But like I said, we're gonna read Obadiah. I know we just breaking it down, but like I said, you can really actually just read this chapter in about 5-10 minutes. But we kind of going through it and breaking it down so we can get to understand it. And so yeah, so it says, for thy violence against thy brother, shame shall cover thee. And that day that thou stood on the other side in that day that strangers carried away the captives, his forces and foreigners enter into the gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. So, meaning when we got taken into slavery, because we've been into a lot of different slavery. So this is speaking about the Babylonian captivity, I believe, or the Caesarean captivity, and saying that they stood right there and they helped them take us into slavery. They was like delivering us up to these people and saying, "Hey, here goes some Israelites right here," and turning us in. So when they saw us going through our hard times, they, by them being our brothers, technically, because we come from Jacob and Esau, had the same parents, but it did also tell you that we are separated, spiritually. But on a cardinal sense, that's not brotherly. That's why it says, "For the violence against thy brother, shame shall cover you." Right. So it says, in that day, where am I? Okay, yeah. But thou shows not have looked on that day, but thou shouldst not have looked on that day of thy brother, and that became a stranger. Neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither uh, should thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. So when they seen us going through our bad times, they were celebrating. They was happy about it. It was they was turning up. So God was like, man, you see the children of Israel going through all this stuff, and you getting you know celebrating and all that stuff, and it's supposed to be your brother, quote unquote, you know, and y'all helping them get taken into uh, captivity. So now this is just one captivity. Captivity. We're not talking about the most recent one, but this is just from the beginning why God got it out for them. So and they did a lot more shit to us and everybody else since this time. So then it says, uh, "Thou shalt not enter into the gates of my people in the day of their thou shalt have not entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Thou shalt not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity." So when they seen us getting taken out by the Babylonians and stuff, they came in and looted. They came in and stole this, the remaining of our stuff and all our gold and treasure and stuff. Cause that's what the white man is, a goddamn thief. He steal everything. We always be so worried about us stealing from each other. You need to worry about that damn white man next to you stealing, or potentially gonna steal or kill or both. Still kill or whatever. Watch him. One eye on him. I'm joking, but for real though, watch him. But for real. So So it says, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done it. It is done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy head. So meaning how they say what you reap what you sow. So the white man been robbing, stealing, raping, killing all over. So God saying your reward is coming back on your head. It says, for that day, no, as for ye have drunken upon my holy mountain, the Israelites. So shall all the heathens drink continuously. They shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they were had not been. You know, so saying that he's going to destroy them, and he's going to cause them the same affliction that we have to go through in these 500 years. He's going to put it on them. Then, as they go through those afflictions, they're slowly going to fizzle out, and like I said, it's going to be as they has not been, because we know, and they would tell you that the stuff that we went through, no other race of people can go through what we go through and still survive and still be here 40, 50 million strong. They can't do that, you know. But so they know that. So it's telling you, um, and as they swallow it down, and they shall be as though as they has been not, meaning they're not gonna be around. And and it's gonna be like, like I said, as they was not. Let's go to jump back to Jeremiah real quick, get some more context on that. Jeremiah 49:16. So it says, thy terribleness have deceived thee. So that's what the white man think. He think because he's so terrible. He got this big military. He got all these arms and stuff. He can just go bully his way all over the place. So it says, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and thy pride and thy hurt, O thou that dwells in cliffs and rocks, that holdeth the high of the hill. Cause we know that they like mountains and all that stuff. So once again, it's describing them as these high habitating, loving, mountain cave dwelling people. Cause that's what they are. They just try to cover it up now with all these skyscrapers and penthouses that they call them. But they're mountain hole crack dwellers. They're hole dwellers, cave dwellers, whatever you want to call it. That dwell in the cliffs and the rocks, that hold the heights of the hills. Through thou showest that make thy nest high as an eagle, I will bring thee down from hence, said the Lord Yahweh. I didn't say this. Yahweh said he's going to bring them down. And we all waiting on that day. So it says, but upon Mount Zion, back to Obadiah 1:17. Upon Mount Zion shall be a deliverance, and there shall be a holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess the house of Jacob possess their possessions. So in that day, we're gonna all this. That's why we shouldn't get jealous or be upset with these white people having all this money and all these riches, because the Bible says in that day we're gonna possess their possessions. All these little fancy, smashy things they got, that belongs to us anyway. They just holding it for us. That's how you got to look at it. You see somebody pull up in a Ferrari, he just the white man with that broad like Homer Simpson, when he pull up in a Corvette drop top, that he just holding it for you. But the Bible says all this belongs to us. So like it tells you in Ezra 6:54 that this earth was made for our sake. We just got to get back to our understanding of being, the children of the Most High, right? So where we at? So then and so now that's my favorite part, one of my favorite verses. So it says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And we know stubble is like the little fine ashes that be at the bottom of the grill or something after you get done barbecuing. You got the stuff burned up so much that it just turned into dust. So God is saying that the Israelites in that day, the Israelites are going to be like a flame, a fire. and we're gonna burn these people up. We're gonna destroy these people so much that they're just gonna be whittled down to nothing, to dust. That's what the Lord said, not me. So I'm just reading. So it says, "In the house of Jacob should be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And it shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau." Let me read that again. Maybe God made a mistake. Maybe God is saying that he's going to leave a few white people left. No, what do you say? It shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. Hold on, let me fix my glasses. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. And it shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord, for who? For the Lord has spoken it. Not me, for the Lord has spoken it. So when it's all said and done, it's not going to be no more of these people left. Next time we see these people, will be in a museum, Lord willing. Because what's the best place for them? They've been a cancer to this earth, destroyed the ozone layer, the ecosystem, people, whatever you want to name, they destroyed it. So that's what they do. That's what they're here for. And they're doing a good job at it. Just that we don't like it. And it says, and they shall, this is 19, and they shall, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, meaning the southern kingdom, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which will be the so-called African Americans, Jamaicans, and Haitians. So Jamaicans, Haitians, and the so-called African Americans will be the south, the southern kingdom. It says we're going to have possession of Esau's land, and all its possessions is going to be given to us as a gift, which we deserve it, because them niggas took us to slavery. It says, and the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain of Philistine, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria and Benjamin, which is the so-called Jamaicans. Benjamin shall possess Galilee. And the captivity of the host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even. So we're going to have servants in that day. And that's what the church is not telling you. That's why, the other video I did was explaining to you that heaven is a state. It's not a place you die and go. Heaven is a state of being. And when we're in rulership, heaven is rulership. So when we're in that rulership, we're going to have servants, just like how when America, we're their servants. Look around the kitchens. You go to any restaurant you go to, who's in their kitchen? We are. Black Hispanic people cooking everything. Go to any hospital that you want to go to. Who's the nurses? We are. Black Hispanic people being the nurses. A lot of our Levi sisters, Haitians and Jamaicans being nurses. We are the servants here. But it's telling you in that day, they're going to have to serve us. We're going to have the infrastructure, and they're going to have to come to us to, to get a job or whatever the case may be. And all their work is going to go to benefit us. Not just them, but all the other nations. And it says, and the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and the plains of the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria. And Benjamin, which is so-called Jamaicans, will possess Galilee. And the captivity of the host of the children of Israel shall possess the children of Canaan, which is so-called Africans, even until Zephyr, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is shepherd, shall possess the cities of the south. So we're going to take everywhere these people reside at, that's going to be ours. White people ain't going to have no state nowhere. They done stole everybody's land. Now they got to go where we tell them to go. And that's going to be on a plantation, cotton field. Work detail, 22 hours a day. If I can get one of them. So there ain't going to be no sleep. But that's how it's going to be. 23 hours a day, matter of fact. 23 hours and a half. I give them like 30 minutes to sleep. If I give them 30 minutes to sleep. But other than that, work all day. Right? Just like how we have to work all day. It's only fair. It sounds mean. It sounds like my friend Shoes used to say, it's bogus, but it's fair. That's just what it is. So it says, and this is 21, last verse, and we're gonna end it with this. So it says, and the saviors shall come up on Mount Zion and judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord. So in that day, the saviors, the ruling class of Israel, the governors, the princes, the kings of Israel, is gonna in that day we're gonna hold court. I don't know if y'all saw that movie Batman, the one with Bane, Dark Knight Rising. And you remember at towards the end, middle end, they had the little court proceedings with the politicians and it was like what did dude say? He was like, yeah, this is not a court hearing. This is more of a sentencing, whatever. He was like, so we just want to hear how you plead. So that's what we gonna be on in that day. We ain't gonna try to hear Esau lies about why, he did what he did and how he ended up how really didn't want to benefit from white privilege, this, whatever. We ain't gonna want to hear all that. We just want to hear your plea. No, we're not your plea. We're just here for the sentencing. We don't care about none of that. We're just here to give you your judgment. So that's what it says. It says, the saviors shall come upon and the savior shall come upon Mount Zion, which is Israel, to judge Mount Esau, which would be the so-called Caucasian white man, and the kingdom shall be the Yahweh's. So this is how important it is, right? And you like, okay, why are you talking about this and all that? This is Obadiah, right? Excuse the Bible, kind of raggedy, but this is Obadiah. It's a whole book in this Bible dedicated to how God is going to destroy the so-called Caucasians. And Pastor is not reading it to you. He's telling you that we're all one in ebony and ivory and type stuff. But Obadiah here, this is just this whole book right here. We just read the whole book, and if I wasn't breaking it down like I was, you could easily read this in about 5-10 minutes. So, and this whole book is talking about how God's plan is to destroy white people off the planet of the earth. And nobody's talking about it. And we got to understand that this is the God that we serve, and He's not all love, because God has hate for a certain group of people, and we can and we see that when we read the scriptures, that we see that He has a grand plan to exterminate one group of people. We got Google, right? We can Google Edom, and when you Google Edom, it will come up and tell you that Edom, which is the so-called Caucasian people, are the only race of people that God promised that He was going to destroy and not have mercy on. That's what Google tells you. That's what Google tells you. So you can either, we can go through this and read the Bible and see it here, or if you don't believe me, you can Google Edom and see the destination for Edom and see what's going on with that. And like I said, and it tells you that those are the only people that God don't, have is not going to have mercy for when it's all said and done. His plan is to exterminate them. And just like any cancer has to be exterminated or else it will grow. So this is Romans 9:13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, Jacob meaning the Israelites, but Esau have I hated. So this is the Lord telling you that He hates Esau. And the church will tell you, well, God love everybody, but what did the Bible say? The Bible says, Jacob have I loved, which is the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, but Esau have I hated, which is the so-called white man, woman, and child. That's what it's telling. Let's go to Malachi 1:4. Because you might think I'm crazy, or you might think I got it wrong. But let's go to Malachi 1:4. Because the Bible says, out of the mouth of two or three witnesses, the truth will be established, right? That's what it said. So let's go to what is it? where we at with it? Boom. Malachi 1 and 4. So, like we just read in Romans 9 and 13, Jacob have, as it is written, Jacob have I loved. So, Paul is quoting something. What is Paul quoting? He's quoting Malachi because he said, he started off by saying, as it is written. Where is it written? In the Old Testament. I read that out of the New Testament about God hating white people. For people to say what, it doesn't say that in the, yes, it does. It says it in the New Testament. God hated white people. All right. And it also says what he's going to do to them. But so now, where do you get it from? From the Old Testament, Malachi. Let's read it. The burden of the Lord, the burden of the word of the Lord Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I had loved you, said the Lord, talking about the Israelites. He had loved us, said the Lord. Yet ye say, where hast thou had loved us? Was Esau not Jacob's brother? So God is asking the question, like, wasn't Esau Jacob's brother? Isn't these white people? Don't these white people come from the same place that y'all come from the same mother and daddy that y'all came from, right? Um, but I love Jacob, meaning, but I love the Black, Hispanic, and Native American. That's why we read about how we got a God that will fight for us. We got a God that's ready to just, tear down everything for us. He's ready to fight. We just got to be willing, to hold up our bargain, right? Our end of the bargain. I hated Esau, and I laid his mountains into and his mountain and his heritage into waste for the dragons. So when you get into the history, the Babylonians, I believe, or the Assyrians, they came in and they destroyed Mount Seir. That's why when we see Google pictures of Mount Seir, it look like a desert now. But by the power of the Most High God Yahweh, as we read in here, it says, I hated Esau, and I laid his mountains and his heritage into waste, and the dragon of the wilderness. So he destroyed them when they were in Mount Seir. That's why they're not in Mount Seir. Then they had to rotate and migrate and move up to the Caucasus Mountains to where we know them to be at now. So everywhere they go, they always found them a hole to crawl up in because they're cave dwellers. That's what they do. It says, and I laid the heritage and waits for the dragons of the wilderness, meaning he let the other nations come in and take over and rob them and destroy them. So they have to get up out of there. It says, wherein Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build in desolate places. So that's what the heart of the white man. The white man want to go all over the world, building up in places, taking over land that's not his, and building up. So he says, we want to build up in desolate places. They call it desolate, but it be people there. So it says, build in desolate places, thus said the Lord of hosts. This is how you know a black man, that's how you know God is black. It says, I'm about to tell you. It said, thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. So God said, yeah, go ahead and build your little Petra, your little Mount Seir, but I bet you that shit look like a desert now. Go ahead and build your little Greece and all that stuff. I bet you Greece is nothing but a memory now. Go ahead and build your Rome and all that stuff. But I bet you Rome is nothing but a bunch of concrete piled on top of each other now. So he said, yeah, go ahead and build your stuff. And the same thing that's about to happen to America, because America is an extension of the Roman Empire. He said, they shall build, but I will throw down. That's what Yahweh, our power, said, the Most High God, because he will fight for us. Pursuant to the scriptures I brought out earlier about Yahweh fighting for us. It says, whereas Edom says, yeah, they shall build, but I will throw it down. And so this is how we know that it's not just one white person being Esau, the bad guy. It's every last one of them is the devil. Because slavery wouldn't have lasted this long, 500 years, if all of them wasn't the devil. But that means we'll at least have an even amount or something. Or, they wouldn't have Jim Crow laws and all these other laws if it wasn't every last one of them is the devil. I call them big devils, little devils. The little devils you can probably get along with, you work with, be cool with, crack jokes with. But then you got the big devils that when they say stuff, shit happens. So, but they all devils when it all comes down to it. So it says, uh, whereas Eden said, okay, where am I? Oh, um, they should build, but I would throw down, and they should call them the border of wickedness. Right? So God said you should call these people the border of wickedness. What is a border? This table have a border on it. So everything outside of this table is not a table, but everything inside of the border of this table is a table. So God said we're going to call them the border of wickedness. That means all of them is wicked. That's why we call them the devil. It's not because we just think it's a fancy thing, a cool thing to say, oh, well, I don't like white people, so just call them the devil. No, the Bible calls them the devil because it says they are the border of wickedness. And we see through their actions, through the annals of time and history, what they have done to this planet and to people. To the animals, they are extinct 98% of the animals that ever existed. Would a good person do that? I mean, only the wicked I can think of can probably kill like 98% of every animal that ever existed. It says, the border of wickedness and the people, not just one person, the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever. Meaning God hate these people forever. The word indignation means righteous hatred. That's what it means to have indignation. Indignation is righteous hatred. So it says, and the people who the Lord has indignation forever. That's why we call them the devil. Because the Lord calls them the devil. The Most High God, Yahweh, calls them the devil. And then, even if he didn't call them the devil, look at the stuff that they do. How could you not come to the conclusion that they are the devil? When the Christian church will have you think that, oh, it's some type of spiritual guy running around in the red suit and the pitchfork, standing over hell, burning people. No, the devil is the man that did not looked at you right in your eyes and said no because you were black. Or the police that writes you a ticket, even though you had a real good reason why you should not get that ticket. But he gave you that ticket anyway and made you go to court and miss a day at work and all that shit. Now you end up getting fired from your job because you couldn't miss a day at work. That's the devil. That's who we dealing with. But we don't look at it like that because we think it's some spiritual demon Satan going around torturing everybody, where the Bible tells you that all the angels follow the Lord perfectly. Even who we call Satan follows the Lord perfectly. And that's a whole nother story too. We can get into that. But we're just focusing on the devil we see every day, the so-called white man, woman, and child. And that's who they are, according to Malachi, according to Romans 9 and 13, according to the most importantly, Yahweh, our power God, Yahweh, called him the devil. So yeah, that's who the devil is. It's not no spiritual demon, something like that. Yes, we do. Yes, it is a such thing as the spiritual demon Satan, but it's not what we've been taught. The devil is who we say it is, or who we know it to be, which is these people that have been devils to it for the last 500 years, or if you want to be technical about it, for the last 2,000 years since they came into power. That's who the devil is. That's who the devil is that the Bible speaks of. So once we get that understanding, understand now nobody's going around saying, okay, yeah, you got to hate these people. But at least understand the enemy. Understand who these people are. Understand that they don't have our best interests at hand. They never did. I mean, would your best friend kidnap you and bring you to a foreign land that you don't know about and force you to work? No, they would not. Then after that, then they cause look, you talk to these people and you talk to your so-called white friend and engage them on how they feel about the plight of black history and the shit that we went through. They're gonna be like, oh, that was old, that's fucked up, that's a long time ago, but things are different now. No, the hell it's not, but we're still talking about it. I never seen Asian man over here talking about hands up, don't shoot. I don't see an African man over here talking about hands up, don't shoot, and they dark just like us. It's a spiritual thing. They know exactly who they killing. Like we read in Genesis 27 and 40, I think, where Esau talked about how he wants to kill us, how he put it in his heart to kill us. So that been manifest for ages, that hatred that they got for us. And it's not going to go away. Look at the Bloods and the Crips. From my understanding, I could be wrong. The Bloods and the Crips fight started over some guy sleeping with another guy's woman. And then from that incident sparked everything that happened with the whole Bloods and Crips war against each other. They was already like separated because there was two different factions. But then, one ended up sleeping with another person, girl, and then that blew up. And now that person, so it just turned into everything that we see it to be to this point. And that just started off with this one incident. And look how long that been lasting for. Like that's like, I want to say 70. That's like about a 50-year, going on a 60-year war. Of course, a lot of other shit happened in between that incident, but that was the catalyst for that. So the catalyst for this so-called black and white problem is the fact that Esau said in his heart that he's going to destroy us, and he made it his mission, and that's what he's been doing since he's been here. We got to understand that because the Bible says so. So like it tells you in Psalms 83, we got enemies, and we got to understand who our enemies are, and we got to understand that yes, you got enemies that so-called Israelites, black, brown people, but we're required to love each other and forgive each other. But we got to understand that it's an enemy that's out there that's actively trying to take us out. And we so busy trying to fight with each other that we don't see the enemy that's out there that's actively making laws and creating things to make things harder for us. I mean, because think about every law that they make and have made is not conducive to our lifestyle. Like the way that we like to live and kick it, like they pass laws on that. Like we sociable people. We like to go out and on the streets and stand out on the corner. Now, yeah, true enough, some of us probably was doing what they call illegal activities, but for the most part, we like standing on corners. But then you have ordinance where certain cities pass ordinance where you can't, two or three more can't be gathered, and that goes back to slavery. That's a plantation law. Two or three more slaves can be gathered together. So that's why it's in our spirit. You be outside standing on the corner, police roll by, roll up, everybody starts splitting up, going their separate ways. That's embedded in us to have that fear. Because that's the laws that America got. And they push on us. All the different laws that they make is all about like the tinted windows thing. Like something basic as putting tents in your window. I thought this is America supposed to be free to do what the hell you want. But black people and Hispanic people like putting tents in their windows. So you know what they do? They make laws about that where they can pull you over and write you a ticket. We like to put air fresheners in our mirror thing. They write laws so they can pull you over and give you a ticket. That's what they do because they the devil that the Bible speaks of. And this is their kingdom. This is their rulership. This is their heaven. And they can do what they want. You know, but at the same time, we can also call them the devil for doing it. And that's what we're doing today. So, like I said, the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. White man, woman, and child, I don't care which one. They are devils. And we got to understand that. And once we understand that, the better things will be. Because they don't have our best interests and they never will, never have. And we got to have that same energy that they have for us. And it's not about, like I said, it's not about hating or nothing like that. It's just about understanding who we're dealing with and understanding being smart. Like I said, be wise as a serpent, but harmless as a dove. So with that, I'm going to say shalom and hopefully was edified on that and got a better understanding of, how God wants to fight for us and how he's coming to fight for us and how he has a plan to destroy our main enemy, outside of ourselves. So with that, I say shalom and I'm gonna out of here. Peace.